So like I said, back in April, he received all this information, all the evidence in raw form. Like, he didn't get the complaint because it wasn't written yet, but he did have the raw evidence, and so he knew exactly what was out there. So what has he done since then? Well, you go back and read a couple of his last articles, his last keynotes. I'll just win. Come on. And now that you know what he knew back in April, you can see the manipulation, the word games, the whole, it's not me, not me, not me, it's everybody else. It's all in those notes, in those keynote articles. The fall edition, I believe, is the one that had the divide and conquer, article. Oh, we're not going to divide. We're not going to divide. We're going to unite. We're going to unite. That was the story. I haven't seen anything but division with us. Let's go back to that convention. You recall the convention when the vote was coming in and we wanted to, the discussion regarding the dues increase, to do it or not do it. Did you see how that place split? How it was so segregated? How it was just, you had one side here and you had the other side there, and it was like, and you had the president in the middle with the big grin on his face, like, yeah, those are my boys and they're taking care of me. Those are the folks that are looking out for the members, and I don't have any interest in them. That's how I incorporated that. I didn't see any intervention by him. Hey, let's be civil. Didn't see any of that. RJD puts out a memo, a letter, to the chapter presidents, voicing her concerns, voicing her, and what happens? Boy, she gets smacked right in the face with a freaking 10-page email. How dare you? How dare you question the president? Again, nothing but division. Nothing but division. Looking at his other article, but his email that he sent to you folks to the presidents on March 10th. And I go through it, and you can just see the manipulation. You can see the word game. You can see the propaganda that he's putting in there. You can just see everything. Now that you know everything that he knew, how in the world could you say that I tried to bypass the bylaws? I had a scheduled hearing for February 27th and February 28th. That was our scheduled hearing date. What this man did is he utilized loopholes in the bylaws, and he used it to his advantage. And so what did he do? His intent, he was calling every board member as a witness to his charges. So what does that essentially do? That basically takes them out of the jury box. They can no longer be a juror. Okay? So now they're out of the jury. Now, even though these individuals have absolutely nothing relevant to support him in his quest to gain innocence, he calls them simply to get them off the jury. Now, the bylaws were written in a manner, and it does not which didn't account to have a dirty president, okay? So the bylaw says once an individual is removed from the jury, right, or removed from the jury, he or she shall be replaced by a person of the president's choice. So what did he do? He canvassed all the fellas, So now we got a stacked jury, and that's what we got. So who in their right mind is going to want to present a case to that? So of course the board said, nah, we're going to postpone this. This ain't happening yet. So the sheer fact that he's telling all you guys that I don't want to have a hearing is a blatant lie. Talks about a smear campaign. I don't see anything about a smear campaign here. I see nothing but proof and evidence against this person. That's all I see. But he wants to lead you to believe it's a smear campaign and there's nothing there. Okay. Well, now you know there is something there. And it's not a smear campaign. He said Mike secretly emailed the board and he wanted to be the general manager. Well, that is nothing further from the truth. This is what you ask on that sentence. Ask him, hey, send me that entire email so I can read it and get the content, get the whole context, okay? My plan is to leave California, and that time is coming up, and I don't see me being here much more longer than a year. I don't know. So I have no desire whatsoever to run that organization. I simply was going to step in while he was out. Sam was already short to the house. Sam comes in, bam, he takes over, and we're rolling like thunder. That was the plan. But this individual doesn't want to resign. He's regardless of what he's facing, he doesn't want to resign. And why not? Hell, why would you? And then lastly, and this is nothing but a blatant lie. I'd also like to point out that I always had an open door policy in the office. And these concerns were never brought to my attention. Never brought to my attention. You know how many times I heard the shouting going behind his closed doors when the financial personnel were in there? You know the looks I see on their faces when they come out of that office? You know how many talks I've had with folks in that office about stuff? A lot of that is going to come out in testimony. I'm not going to say it here. But it's not pretty, folks. And the morale issue that I brought up, that was confirmed. Picture this. Here you are. We got a good core of folks working in the office. Very good. Young folks, young families. This is their livelihood. This is their bread and butter. They don't have a pension that they're living off of, right? This is it. And these folks see this money going out left and right, and these are healthy checks. These aren't nickel and dime checks. These are nice healthy checks. People can live off these checks. It gets a little demoralizing seeing that happening, knowing that, man, here I am sitting my behind in this desk, 40 hours plus a week. My check don't even match these, and these individuals aren't doing a darn thing that we are. Office staff, they talk. It's not a secret. The office staff normally knows more than anybody else. So anyway, that is a straight lie. He's been told, stop spending. And what did it take? It finally took to the end when y'all got the notice. No more money, no more this and no more that. But then you'll see in those emails that I sent back in April with the photos, they're still traveling and playing golf. So that's the character. That's what you got going for you. And, and the one other thing that he did do in this letter, and it's worth mentioning, he takes sole responsibility. Let's see. Here it is. I take full responsibility for all the decisions I made as president. Well, sounds like an admission of guilt, unsolicited, you know? I guess there's a reason why attorneys tell you to remain silent. I don't know. He had the charges in his hands. I mean, he's looking at all these charges. I'm looking at these charges, right? I take full responsibility. So, okay, so why do we need a hearing? Let's just get right to the penalty stage. So I guess when he threw himself on the sword like that, you know, I guess he thought, well, just give me my LOI and we'll be on our way. Well, I don't think it warrants an LOI myself. But again, that's for you guys to decide, and we're going. So now that leads me to one last couple things, and then I'll let you go. I know we've all spent too much time on this shit already. Excuse my French. But let's see. So where are we at right now? What are we looking at right now? Well, resignation seems to be off the picture, off the table. It just, you know, I don't know. Maybe this information getting out to the members will increase, you know, some pressure. Maybe. I don't know. So resignation, I'm not going to hold my breath. Now, the hearing, obviously, that's the next choice. That's the preferred choice. And the only way a hearing is going to work is obviously if we've got a fair jury. I mean, without a fair jury, there's no sense in going to this kangaroo court and just blowing smoke, and then at the end of the day, oh, see, I was right and you was wrong. Well, that can't happen anymore. So that's a good thing, because everything's been exposed. I'd like to see an 8-person jury, just like the bylaws say, except let's pull 8 random members, you know. One from each classification: a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain, some office folk, personnel folk, SRNs. You know, let's get a state police. Let's get a hospital sergeant, hospital lieutenant. Let's get one of each on that darn panel. I mean, I'm good with that. Sounds reasonable to me. And then let's have our hearing and let it play out. Sounds like the smart thing to do. And then, of course, the last, and that is the recall option. Okay, and the recall option has a major flaw. And the major flaw is this: there is no way possible that we can get every member a ballot in their hand. Our postal address database, you know, it's horrible. You know, it may be better today than it was a couple of years ago, but it's horrible. You know, we always get RTSs, bad addresses. And the only way a recall will work is if 2/3 of the membership vote to impeach. So if they're going to vote to impeach, we got 4,600, approximately 4,600 members. So we need 3,000 votes, period. Now, historically, all of our elections, chapter elections, state elections, whatever the case may be, we're lucky to get anywhere from 25 to 35% return. And that's just the reality of it. People don't care. People toss the envelope on that, you know, it goes in a pile of mail on the end table and it's forgotten about. You know, it's just a reality. It's not a secret. So even if we were to get a whopping 50% to vote, that's only 2,300 signatures, falling short of the 3,000. So the recall won't work, period, the way it stands now. Now, if we can assure that we can get a ballot in every member's hand and they're actually able to vote and make it count, that's great. That would work as well. But again, that's a lot of money. You know, a lot of money. And why the heck do we need to spend more money on this crap when we got a perfectly viable option that will cost very little to fulfill? So without any of those options, you know, in the hearing, he just has to flat out say, no, I don't agree. He doesn't even have to justify why. He just have to say no. He can do that. So I'm afraid we're going to probably be stuck with him until 2026. So if nothing else, you know, at least he's been exposed of what really is going on, how the money is being spent, where, you know, what's not being done, you know, things like that, you know. So that at least is on the table.